Eternal God, we thank you for today. We thank you for the 7th Congressional District and Congressman Danny K. Davis. We thank you for Dr. Vijay Pravakar and the MEATF Task Force. And we thank you for each and every representation here at this moment. We ask for your divine presence, for your blessings, and for your divine initiative and foresight. We pray that whatever it is we do here today, as we convene this meeting, your name is glorified. 2,000 years ago, you birthed your church and gifted your church with your Holy Spirit, and there was a representation from all the utmost parts of the world, the then known world. Today, the MEATF Task Force mirrors that representation. So, Father, we ask that, Lord, your presence will help energize this initiative, but above all, grant us your divine and human favor that this deliberation, this meeting, will be raised to a heightened level to bring concretely into fruition any mission, any agenda that this congressional office and this task force has up the sleeve, that your name be glorified. This we ask. In the matchless name of the risen Savior of Nazareth, we pray, and we all say amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor Tony Bianchi, for that lovely opening prayer. Now I'll ask Acharya Rohit Joshi to give us blessings.
देवान आयुः प्रतिरन्तु जीवसे ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति शांति शांति.
Thank you, Acharya Rohit Joshi, for that inspirational prayer. I request Eddie Parker and Ali Dhanraj, please take your seat. Get your plate of food. This is the 11th annual Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force Homecoming Dinner. At this time, the members of the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force and the Executive Council of the American Multi-Ethnic Coalition had their time, their seat at the table with Congressman Danny K. Davis. We met last year in September at Dr. Santosh Kumar's Shamburg when we had this, and we said bid farewell to Malini Vaidyanathan, the Air India sales manager. For all of you all recall, Dr. Rani Yusufzai was there. He brought a lot of trays of food, of sweet trays. And so today we're again meeting here 1 year. So all of you all ask your time with the congressman. Now please feel free. You can sit down. We pass the mic around. Introduce yourself and whatever is in your mind about last year, this year, the present, the future. It's your place at the table, your time. And this is for the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force Council members and the American Multi-Ethnic Coalition. This is the dialogue engaged by our Congressman Danny K. Davis, who has made and wants to do this. So you all have a feel for the Congressman and what he's doing for us in Congress. We don't need any introduction. It's an informal sit down, and there's a lot of food, and we can have this develop for a couple of hours while the others join us. So with these words, I'd like to welcome the Honorable Congressman right now, and we'll start with our chairman, Mr. Martino Tangre. He will, and then, because he will be brief and he'll end up with him, but the person sitting next to him is Mr. Nag Jaiswal. He's from Naperville. He stood for the Naperville Park District. He's a new entrant, so please welcome him into the council, and his wife Sheila. And they seem to be in a hurry. They don't want to taste the lovely food put out by our Shri Gursami and others, so we'll hand it over to Nag Jaiswal. Please give it up for Congressman Danny K. Davis.
Congressman, thank you everyone. This is my first time I'm here, and very happy, honored to be here, part of this group. So when I started my campaign, it was very narrow focus neighborhood, right? So we said, okay, what can we do? And then that journey brought us to you. The COVID happened and the vaccination, had the chance to meet Congressman. And I guess there was a long journey in the last few months where we got the vaccination approved for India. So very glad we are part of your activities, and going forward, we want to do more. I want to do more, and I want all the opportunities that are available, so that how can we help? Not what can I get, but rather what can I do to make your mission more successful, right? That's what I'm looking for.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, your wife, Ms. Sheila Jaswal, and I'll hand it back to the chairman, Martino, to take over.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prabhakar. We are delighted to have all of you at this 11th Annual Homecoming Summit of the MEATF Congressman Danny K. Davis. At this special evening, we want to acknowledge the MEATF Executive Leadership, Dr. Zenobia Sowell, MEATF Women Chair, Ms. Masantos Kumar, MEATF Gala Chair 2021, Dr. Srinivas Reddy, MEATF Gala Star 2021, Dr. Clarence Bill, MEATF Member Secretary, and our last but not least is our catalyst, Dr. Vijay Prabhakar, MEATF Founder Chairman, who always very active to bring us together. Tonight we are delighted to welcome all MEATF members and also new members. It's an honor and privilege to have the living legend, Honorable Congressman Danny K. Davis, one of the longest serving and most respectful congressmen in the state of Illinois, with his big heart to serve the community at large. He has a commitment to prioritize, protect Social Security, work tirelessly for affordable prescription drugs, fight for affordable housing for seniors, make Medicare better for our seniors, create jobs for seniors who want to work, and improve our quality of life. Enjoy this wonderful homecoming summit. God bless all of you. God bless America. Thank you so much.
Sheila Jaswal.
She's going to pass.
I'm going to pass.
She want to pass?
Yeah. All right. I'm Neelam Dwivedi. I have been part of the MEATF for some time now, a couple years. And I really enjoy being part of this under the guidance of Dr. Vijay Prabhakar, the most energetic person that I have met. I want to follow him, and I try to get his energy as much as possible. Anyway, thank you, Congressman Davis, for everything that you have done for the community and that you are continuing to do. But I would, just a suggestion that I had, if we can have some programs for youth to engage them and have some programs for teen mothers so that they can put their kids in daycare and go to school. We would really appreciate in case if we can start something for that, because I think that is one of the problems that the teenagers and the youth is facing, and they are the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have a very special person in our midst. Earlier this morning, the No One Else Left Behind, which is a non-formal education high school academy on the 62nd National, had the 7th annual commencement ceremony. Me being part of the chairman of their board, we had Neil Court, who was honored as Man of the Year. We had Dr. Mrs. Santosh Kumar, who got the first Vice President Kamala Harris Strength of Service honor. We had Dr. Rani Yousafzai, who got the Entrepreneur of the Year, and others. And there I met this amazing Wonder Woman, and she's joined us here today. She's known as the Warrior Goddess. Welcome, and she's going to electrify us with what's going on in the city today. Before our congressman at the end gives a State of MEATF address, we'll ask Diana Tyre, who's there seated, will talk about what she does and and the message to the whole multi-ethnic task force group. Please welcome Diana Tyre, the Goddess Warrior.
I was born Diana Tyler, right here on the west side of Chicago, born and raised. I am a product of this environment. I was kicked out of public school and I got a second chance at my education. I graduated from a second alternative high school here in Chicago. Since then, I have gone on to do great things. But prior to doing great things in this lifetime, I have experienced traumatic things just like a lot of other young people in Chicago who've grown up in Chicago on the west side and the south sides of this city. I have experienced trauma and losses. One of the greatest losses that I have experienced was the death of my parents. I lost my mother and my father at the exact same time. I literally saw my father shoot and kill my mother, and then he took his own life. So what I do today is I use my story and my testimony to be a strength, to be an example of God's strength, grace, truth, and his mercy, that through perseverance and through faith that you can still make it and be somebody. So I get out here, through spoken word, through poetry, I tell my story, I speak to the youth, I've traveled telling my story, I speak for domestic violence victims, I speak for violence, I speak against abuse, sexual abuse, and abuse of all kinds. Violence of all kinds. I would like to also give honor to Congressman Danny Davis for allowing me to be here today and thank him for all of his years of service and everything that he has done for all of our communities. We truly do appreciate you. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here. And in time, Brother BJ, thank you so much for allowing me to be here today, meeting you this morning. Really was a pleasure. I thank you all so very much. I hope my story encourages some people here today. We are all from different walks of life. And everybody has a story and a testimony. And you don't know what anybody has gone through. So I can't imagine what some of your stories are from the places that you have gone from to make you who you are today. So I thank everybody for your time. I look forward to meeting and hearing from everyone. And hopefully before the night is over, I get a chance to do some spoken word for y'all and perform a poetry piece, if that's all right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Diana?
Yes.
You're officially admitted, Dr. Sobel, the women's chair, and Martin Otangre want to give you honorary life membership to the Congressman Danny K. Davis's Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force. Wow. And so, Miss Diana is off to Cincinnati tomorrow, and she joined us today. Thank you so much.
If anybody wants to follow me, my name is Goddess Warrior the Poet. It's Goddess Warrior the Poet. I have books online, music online. If you want to find out anything more about me, you can Google my name. It's Goddess Warrior the Poet. Thank you so much.
Now we welcome Dr. Roger Richardson, the president of Rhema University, Florida, who's flown all the way to be with us at the 11th annual homecoming dinner for Congressman Davis's Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force. Give it up for Dr. Roger Richardson.
Greetings. I am delighted to be here. I've heard a lot of great things about the senator throughout their congressman, throughout their Dr. VJ, and all the things that he has stated in terms of all what has been occurring here. And I think it's a great thing, because if Dr. VJ is involved, I assure you, it's moving. It's not stagnant. This man moves 1,000,000 miles an hour. I'm trying to figure out what drug he's taking to keep him going. Only thing I can tell you about Chicago, I've never lived here. I can tell you I hear about the pizza. However, I'm not from this country. I came here and lived in New York, so I know what New York pizza looked like. But yesterday, I had the Chicago deep dish pizza. And it was different, very, very different. I kept chewing, couldn't figure out where the food is coming from. But I would like to thank you all for having me here. I salute the man of the hour and what he's doing. And as I said, if Dr. VJ is a part of it, I know it's moving in the right direction. I thank you all so much.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. And now we would have Mr. Neil Coate, the man of the year, declared this morning in front of 3,000 people. Give it up for Neil Coate. Introduce yourself, say what you do and what all.
Thank you so much. A great introduction by Dr. VJ, as he does for everybody. He raises everybody up than what they are and brings out the heroes in them. So that is what he is super and great at. It was a very humble award in front of a great number of crowd for no adults left behind, and I think it was an award for them, not for me, but very proud of receiving that and humbled. Here we have a legend with us, Danny K. Davis, and I think we've been watching his history created in Congress for so many years. making, and being a part of us feels that somebody is there to look upon us. And I think this should be called more than homecoming, I would say Thanksgiving, because what he's done for India, the place where he started for COVID vaccines is only because of Danny K. Davis. I think he deserves a round of applause for that. He was the first one who took up the march and started the journey of vaccines for India. And I think it couldn't have been better, taken over by Reverend and so on and so forth. So I think this is a Thanksgiving for us, for him. And also, I think apart from the great things he does, the only couple of things I would like to mention is we should look at the Asian hate crime, a little bit of that. And Congressman, the second thing would be business opportunities for Asians and minorities. I think these are the two things I would just request keep in mind. Otherwise, have a great evening, guys. This is a wonderful group of people. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Okay. And next we're going to have the person who has hosted all of this, and he has built what you see today. Been here for many, many years. Trained me as a wonderful physician. My pastor, Tony Bianchi, could you come?
Thank you very much, distinguished Congressman Danny K. Davis and Dr. VJ, and for all of you coming to visit our house, God's house. But I just want to reiterate that the Congressman had been on the forefront with us on our behalf, trying to help the church secure the acreage here by us to develop and also to expand and also to grow. We have watched him work through the 7th district to spearhead with President Biden when he was then a senator to initiate the move for the Second Chance Act, which became law. And our church benefited from that. We were approved as one of the non-profit entities here in the city of Chicago to offer services for about 8 to 10 years through that initiative, and we do applaud him. And also some other things he's been doing, and I thank God for his calling, for his initiative, his foresight, and his energies. And I pray that God's presence is with him to sustain him, and God will infuse a modicum of his blessings upon his life to keep him here longer, and also at his position, at his desk, to help us move on and jot us to the next level to the glory of God. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you for Dr. VJ's presence and all of you. Amen.
Amen. Ravi, come. He's the first person that greeted me at the door. Help me with that wonderful Indian dish.
Hello all, I'm Ravi Govindraj. I'm an IT specialist, and as well as I'm serving in multiple social organizations and network community activist too. And thanks Congressman Danny K. Davis for being with us here. And your service, like I would just try to quote an example. Even last year, in between the COVID pandemic, he was like going out and serving the community, standing hours and hours in the road and like serving people. So which means like nothing can stop our Congressman Danny K. Davis or like our team MEATF from serving people. So even this year, like last year we were unable to conduct a couple other events, and this year we are sure that we are going to make it happen, and we are clubbed together to make that happen again and continue serving people. So thanks again for Congressman Danny K. Davis for making this happen.
Oh, Dr. Ronnie, oh my God, how are you? God bless you. Give her a hand clap as she comes.
Hi, everybody. I think everybody knows me by now. I've been with Dr. VJ and Multi-Ethnic Task Force since day one. I think there was 3 or 4 of us in the first meeting, and looking around, I still see most of us still here, and we have grown so great for the past almost 10 years. So today morning I was honored by Entrepreneur of the Year by No Adult Left Behind. I was honored, I was humbled, and it's a great honor to be a part of an organization that does so much, especially for adults and people that others will forget. So it was really an amazing honor. As an Indian American Business Coalition Secretary General, and now as the Executive Director of American Multi-Ethnic Physicians, under the leadership of Dr. Vijay Prabhakar, his vision has moved and has grown unlike any other group that has ever existed. The collaboration with the Rainbow Push with Congressman Danny K. Davis has been amazing. I've been following it. I was not able to go to Washington. I have two little ones, so I was not able to travel around, but I've been following it closely, and thank you so much, Congressman, for all the effort that you put and made sure that people in need of vaccines got what they really needed. So now with the new administration that we've been waiting for so long that came on board, I'm looking forward under the leadership of Congressman and Dr. Prabhakar for us to grow. Now it's time for us to take it to the next level. Thank you, Congressman.
DJ, you have a gift. He's gifting the food. I'll make sure you want to come. She wants to
I
give
have
you
a small gift for you.
Oh, when they say it's small, you know what that means.
It's very small. Thank you so much. Just a small gift, because none of this ever would have happened without you.
No, it's the Congressman's inspiration, not at all us. Thank you so much. Yeah, now we'll have Ms. Dulce. Dulce is the Hispanic member in our task force, and she is the Executive Assistant and Chief of Staff for Dr. Rani Yousafzai. Please welcome Dulce.
Hello, good evening. I don't know, some of you might know who I am. I am Dulce. I am Rani Yousafzai's personal assistant. I am the Chief Officer that runs both of her operations. As you know, she's an entrepreneur and runs quite a few businesses. I've been very honored to have spent quite a few events with Congressman Danny Davis and Dr. Vijay. I'm impressed with all the work that they do for empowered women, for different nations, for different events, and I've been very honored to be part in each and one of them. It doesn't matter what minority you are, from Hispanic to Latin to all sorts of minorities. And thank you, Danny Davis, Congressman Danny Davis, for giving us the opportunity to let all the minorities, that there is hope for each and one of us, especially the Hispanic community and the brown community. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And now we're going to have Gladys to come.
My name is Salvador Zaguirre. This is my first event with all of you. I am Rani Yousafzai's personal security. And I try to help out with whatever other needs that she has when she needs them.
Good evening, everybody. It's really nice to see everybody back together. We thank God for the grace to be alive. We are not better than the people that died. It's through His grace that we are still standing. So we give Him praise for that. I would really like to thank our father here, the great legend, Congressman Danny K. Davis, who has been a father figure to everybody. I ponder and think so many times the way he sits quietly, you know, sinking in thoughts of everything that he's hearing from everybody. That's what a father does. And then when he speaks wisdom and knowledge to every one of us, which we are all very grateful for. I thank Dr. Vijay Prabhakar, you know, for the opportunity of leading this group. It's not easy leading adults because everybody has their own minds, thoughts, and ways. You know, so you are very patient with us. You know, and we appreciate that. This group has been a network place for every one of us. I really thank our chairman. I love you. Thank you so much. I see when you know, look through the Facebook, say some things, you and Dr. VJ, little things that touches minds. I appreciate it so much. Mama, yes. Thank you so much. I love you. And Dr. Sowell, you know, I just love everybody. You know, that's me. You know, sometimes I can be brash, I can be like a fire, you know, but I simmer down. You know, I just love. And if you love, you don't hold grudges, you don't hold anything back. Mr. Moore, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm so happy to see Dr. Martinez back. You know, God bless you. You know, I thank everybody. And one thing I always think about every time is how we can make this 7th congressional district better and better every time. And one thing that always comes to my mind is the youth and the older people. What can we do to help them? What can we do? With all this gun violence, with all this going on in this beautiful city of Chicago, what can we do better? And one thing that came to my mind is, you know, skill development, especially for the youth. If we can have it in the schools, if we can, you know, vocational is too, you know, it takes a long time. And children of nowadays, they don't have the patience of we older people. You know, something that they can quickly do and start an entrepreneur for themselves. So that has been on my mind because I'm not happy seeing people on the streets or during the holidays not doing anything. So my thoughts and my plan and agenda for this new year that we are starting is if AMEC, the congressman, Mr. Mora, and others can help us develop things. We can use this church here, you know, which is in the center of this community, and be able to have some small-scale skills development for our youth and for the older people that wants to start a small business. The president of a chamber of commerce, that's why that keeps coming to my mind. So it's something I really want our Papa to think about and support, you know, through collaboration with this church. You know, we can do a lot of things. Yes. So we are looking forward to that. Dr. VJ, I'm going to be dragging you to help in this department, you know, because it pains my heart as a mother. You know, I have an organization I call Mothers Initiatives, where we mothers, we step up and start building our young ones. You know, even though we might be busy, but we should still take time, you know, to build our young ones, you know, so that they can be better than us. So I'm talking too much now. If you give me time.
No, go ahead. This is speak your mind. So
yeah,
go ahead.
so I'm really speaking my mind. And what comes to my mind is what I'm voicing out about the skill acquisition. You know, something like a month long, just for the youth. You know, during the small holidays they have, you know, let's do something for them. And then let them start a small business. I see this beautiful recreation center over there, where we can display their products. We can have a flea market. We can have something small, where they are generating income for themselves, where they can buy cheap shoes, buy bags, you know, and things, and they'll be proud of themselves. So those are the things coming to my mind. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Well, it's very nice to see everybody after all this 1 year long COVID-19 separating everybody. It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to see everyone coming here today. I want to thank Congressman Benny Davis for all the good work that he's doing in our communities for all immigrants. He speaks to all the issues that we have in all our communities for many years. And I've known Congressman Benny Davis when he was an alderman. I was working for the city of Chicago, special events when Harold Washington was a mayor. And so that was the time Congressman was an alderman. So he was one of the greatest aldermen, congressmen. He's been following, I've been following with him all the work that he has done for every one of us, Africans, African Americans, Asians, all communities. He loves everybody, and I want to thank you, Congressman, for all the work you've done for us for all these years. And Dr. Vijay, he is a great leader. He organizes us, he motivates us, he wakes everybody up, let's do this. So, thank you for all the work that you do. And everyone, Ms. Matoj, and every one of you, all the work that you've been doing, we've been following up with the things that was going on with the COVID, assisting Indians, in the country, out of the United States, all the Indians that have been affected. We all, we're so happy that everyone united to help. And this shows that we are all one. And what I want to see for this organization is to do more about this year is mental health is one of my passions, one of the issues that is close to my heart. A lot of people have been affected with mental health, especially now, after COVID. It's been one of the biggest issues that is affecting everyone, in closed doors. Yeah, it's in closed doors, everybody's suffering. We need to find ways to tackle this problem. We need to find ways how we can be more effective. I was talking to Congressman Benny Davis earlier today, and we were talking, there's so much funding that's coming to the communities for mental health now. But, we need to be able to get the people, to get it to the people that needs it. And so I want to work with every one of you in this, in mental health issues, and also the youth. We need to motivate our youth. We need to create jobs. We need to help them, economically, to grow economically so that they don't depend on other bad things like selling drugs and things like that, so that they can grow to be better human beings. And they also be, to the communities. I really want to, and your story, I didn't get your name. Can you tell me your name again? Goddess, yeah. Thank you for sharing your story. It's an amazing story that you have. You changed the pain that you have to something very positive. You are a really role model for the youth. This is what we need. These are stories. We all have stories that we can share. To change our lives to be better, to be more positive to other people. I have an organization, and my organization is called Our Legacies Left Behind. This means that we want to motivate and empower others to live up to their potential, so that at the end of the day, we all say we've done something, so that we can pass on the legacy to others, to the next generation, something positive that we can pass on. So thank you very much. I'm glad to be a part of this organization. Thank you, my sister, for bringing me to this organization. Gladys, and I've been here with you guys, for everybody, for the last, I think, 2 years now.
Clarence Bills.
Thank you. As the gentleman said, my name is Dr. Clarence Bills, and I run an organization called Jordan's Dream, which is a transitional housing program for ex-offenders who are re-entering the community. We primarily work with the MESA population, which is the mentally ill and substance abusers. But just recently, I started another organization because due to a catastrophic situation with my agency, I realized that there's such a big need to network with other organizations such as mine that may not understand that when you run that type of business and you're a not-for-profit and you're renting from landlords, if indeed something happens to your agency, you're not insured, you can end up in the situation that I ended up with my agency back in November of 2020. So now I started a new organization called JDI Management, where I'm working with other non-for-profits to make sure that moving forward that they make sure beyond providing services to their clients that they have insurance, that they look towards ownership of their buildings rather than renting. So JDI Management is a entity that is working with other non-for-profits that deal with this same population to make sure that they're providing comprehensive services for them, but they're also providing stability in their community so that indeed that they'll be there for a period of time. But, and I want to thank Dr. BJ and Congressman Danny Davis because they've been inspirations to me for the last 10 years that I've been with MEATF and AMEC. I applaud Dr. VJ for his inspiration in terms of bringing a eclectic group of people together to bring about change, bring about events, having opportunities for individuals to sit down and have conversations and dialogue. And Congressman Davis, I really want to applaud his tenacity, his interest in the mental health bill. That is a real pervasive need, and I hear that he and Dr. BJ are working on some innovative things along with Dr. Sowell and her husband. So, yeah, I want to thank you for the opportunity for being part of MEATF and AMEC. Thank you.
Thank you. Friends, I just want to acknowledge Dr. Clarence Beale is our member secretary of the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force and one of the founding members. And without his unstinted, relentless support, we would have grown to be 11 years old today. And he has really been a shadow brother. And I think much of the success of the Congressman Danny K. Davis's Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force will have to share with our brother, Dr. Clarence Beals. And he had a very special calamity last year in November when one of his group homes, he runs Jordan's Dreams, he runs a group home for mentally challenged people. And he's been doing this for the last 30 years. One of his group homes burnt down. And he had reached out for help. And he's still, till today, on a serious note, I know Mrs. Kumar is wanting to take off her diamond necklace, but she's wearing just a ruby necklace today. But we'll take that too. Having said that, one of his group homes burnt down, where it hosts 15 clients. Until today, he and some of his clients are staying in a hotel in downtown, the Travel Lodge on Harrison Street. It's been 6 months, and he is working towards getting his a new home and buying a home. Dr. Gladys Clara Florencio rose up to the occasion, and they started a bank account to accept donations. And what is it called?
GMC Services Inc.
Yeah. So if there's anybody has resources to help him to rebuild, Mrs. Kumar, we're looking at you, turn yourself away, but I'm sure you'll be the first one to come to the rescue. But this is something that this man, and if Dr. Rani Yousafzai and Ravi always ask, where is Clarence Beals? Because he was always there. But the last 7 months, he has had some challenging times. Gerard Mode, the young Turk, said he'll try to get some federal assistance. We're still waiting, Gerard. Do we have to wait till you become the next Metropolitan Reclamation Commissioner? Or? Yeah? So, having said that, please feel free during this time and afterwards to see and reach out to him and see how you could help him. Please give it up for Dr. Clarence Beals. And he treats his 40 clients like 40 children. Have you heard of anybody? Of course, the Bible they say it all. And each one, he personally takes care. He makes sure he's there at 6 o'clock to go to the first group home to make sure they have the meds. Then 5:30, we haven't done Dr. Vijay, I have to rush and thank you for your time. I have to go feed my clients, have to give them the medication. He is a father and a mother for these 40 clients. Give it up to the one and only Dr. Clarence Beals. Please give it up for Clayton Boyd. He's been there with Congressman Davis for years and with us and toiled the fields. Yes, he will be in the office.
Hello, my name is Clayton Boyd. I work for Congressman Davis. I distribute information. And since I'm distributing information, if it's okay, I'm going to invite y'all to an event tomorrow at 5 p.m. to 8 at 2815 West 5th Avenue. That's right at California and Madison at the Congressman's office. And thank you all. I'm here to do whatever I can do. Have a nice day.
My name is Chenna Gurundaswamy. I work for IBM. I'm an IT consultant there, working with Fortune 500 companies. I've been associated with Dr. Vijay Prabhakar for the last 15 years, 10 plus years I think, or at least 15 years. We are part of this multi-ethnic task force, and we have been very closely associated with Congressman Danny Davis also. So nothing stops us during this pandemic. I'm very grateful to see so many faces, a lot of motivation and happiness. I think we are back to our routine now. Looks like it is. So it's good. And Congressman, thank you very much for your non-stop, continuous work to our community and to our nation. And also, we want to wish you very best of luck in the next run. And we want you to be Congressman forever. Thank you very much.
We want to really appreciate Chenna and his wife Hema. Over the years, when we do our annual community Oscars, we have used their home basement for rehearsals, practices. So please give it up for Chenna and Hema, a very hospitable couple in Greco Avenue, Schaumburg. Participant from Atlanta still talks about the time we did the rehearsals with the sound systems at your place. Thank you, Chenna, for hanging out with us. It's been a long journey. Thank you. And then I'd like the young man with the blue shirt to please come up, with behind the camera, supposed to be Suresh Podiwala's grandson. Please come up and introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. I'm Rakesh Abadamla, and I'm very excited to be here today and meet so many great people. And I'm just humbled and happy to be here. And I am a computer science student at the University of Arizona.
Now, Suresh ji, you can take a picture of your grandson shaking hands with a living legend. Now's your time. Come on, get on the chair. Top of the chair. Give it up for Suresh Podiwala and his grandson. Come on, come on. You worry us all the time. Now's your time. Go ahead.
My name is Ramesh Vatanga. I am father of that young son. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak for a minute. And we are very thankful to Congressman Davis and everyone here today. This is our first time attending this meeting event. And we are very happy to be part of this, and we are looking forward to be part of the organization going forward. Thank you.
Mr. Gladstone Verghese, who is newly inducted into the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force. He is the founder president of GoPio, the Global Organization of People of Indian Origin. And all the girls in the room, Anika, Shri and Ali, look at his flashy car.
I'm really bad with cars. I think Gerard could help. I don't know if he rhymes a Porsche or a, what is the other one? It's a McLaren. Yeah, McLaren. Here, give it up for Gladstone Worthies.
McLaren. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very delighted to be here today. I missed a couple of meetings because of COVID. Otherwise, I used to attend multi-task force every year. Congressman Danny Davis, I know him for a long time because I was Secretary of Indo-American Democratic Organization for 6 years and the Board of Directors for another 2 years. So I know him for a long time. A lot of the politicians I know. So my humble request is, one of our great leaders is Dr. Vijay Prabhakar. We call him Chief. No. But, I mean, he's one of the very talented person in the Indian community. If I wish Congressman will run for US Senate when Richard Durbin retires, then my friend Dr. Vijay Prabhakar will run for US Congress.
No. I'm still an Indian citizen, Congressman. I'm still an Indian citizen.
That's supportive, That's my biggest ambition. And nice to see you all. Thank you.
And now we'll have Dr. Terence Shraman, a young physician, who is the Secretary of the American Association of Multi-Ethnic Physicians. He is also the Surgical Associate of Dr. Srinivas Reddy. And over to Dr. Terence Shraman.
And he's sitting next to Gladstone Worthies. As they say, Malayalis stick together. We are from the home state of Kerala, and as we have a widespread of Indians. So welcome, Dr. Terence Shraman.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Terence. I also work with a group called Dr. Cloud EHR. It's a behavioral health and mental health EHR, which we're trying to spread around in the 7th Congressional District. We cover many agencies for behavioral health and mental health, and using telepsychiatry to reach all the folks that can't get to a facility. I've been here in Chicago, born and raised, and went to med school in India, and working with Dr. Srinivas Reddy here too. So many hats, but it's good to see everybody. It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been a while. So, thank you.
Well, our next friend and a great supporter and been with our multi-ethnic advisory task force for nearly about 6 years, half of the time we've been in existence. And he has been there as a prayer warrior. He quotes the Bible like anybody he has a verse for every occasion. And welcome Johnson Sukha from the United Telugu Christian Community. And a dearly beloved brother of ours. He's in the healthcare field, and Johnson has been there all the time for us. Please welcome Johnson.
Greetings to you all in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. At this outset, I thank God for giving me this privilege to come to a church premises. It's been more than a year I haven't been into a church, just attending Zoom meetings. And I thank God for Congressman Danny Davis. And my association with Vijay Prabhakar since early 90s, and with multi-ethnics, maybe more than 6 years. Since inception, I believe.
Now after COVID, by having memory loss.
You are a MP, member of Parliament.
Pray for it.
Yeah. So while somebody was talking, I think Gladys was talking about that, how about Vijay Prabhakar will be running for a congressman. So I was thinking like Moses, I see that Danny Davis, congressman like Moses, he will give the baton to Joshua. And always I quote like 7th district, 7th is a perfect, it's a completion in the Bible. So I see that 7th is a completeness as the Bible says. And I'm associated with Vijay Doma. We both are in Indian Telugu community. And we have also one multi-ethnic Christian coalition of America. We both work in that. We thank me and praise thee. And I thank Congressman Danny Davis, especially for you, Congressman. You're like, Danny is like a lion.
Yes.
And David, a man after God's own heart. And your staff represents like, you're like Moses. You're leading all the young leaders. Thank you so much. God bless you.
I just want to quickly respond to what Johnson Sukha said. I don't want Gerard Moore or Dr. Zenobia Sowell or Dr. Srinivas Reddy, all those who are upcoming contenders for the congressman anywhere, not necessarily his seat, but congressman is announced as running for the second term. I want to tell everybody, and that's one of the reasons we are here, so please get your checks out for Citizens for Davis to Ravi. And I want to tell everybody that I'm an Indian citizen, so I'm clear of the thing for the last 35 years. Like Johnson earlier said, member of parliament, maybe a minister in the government, or even go beyond that, whatever the Lord wills. Or I just continue to be here with Dr. Sowell and Pastor Tony Bianchi and all of you all to serve the Lord. To God alone be the glory. I have no intentions to serve in any position. Gerard is looking at me, says, man, don't be Brutus, and I'm not. Okay, so now having said that, we have a very special person who's come from New York all the way to join us. He has heard about a great Dr. Joseph John Joseph. And he wants to meet Congressman Danny K. Davis. And he said that he had a special reason, and I asked him what. This is the only congressman who has done something practical for the African countries, from where Gladys comes, Kiros comes. And he has personally, he is the vice president of 3J Medical Supplies in New York, and he has been in this country for quite some time dealing with, and he specializes in dialysis equipment. About 7 years ago, he donated 37 to 33 dialysis units to Ghana. Gladys, one of your favorite countries, and they are still running, and they're providing free services for all the kidney patients who need dialysis. He has done that 2 years ago to Zimbabwe with another 7 units. And so he wanted to see how he can continue to do this with Congressman Davis's guidance. And so I told him, come on, jump on a flight to really mean it, because we hear a lot of people talk, a lot of Indian brothers, and especially from Tamil Nadu, the same state, Kamala Harris, Naisal, Ali, who else? Neelam, she's Rajasthani, but we'll let you pass for that. And so, give it up for Joseph, Dr. Joseph John Joseph.
Honorable Congressman, Dr. Vijay, ladies and gentlemen, like Dr. Vijay said, I'm from New York. I have nothing to do with this congressional district. However, in the last couple of weeks, Dr. Vijay would have mentioned Congressman's name at least 10 to 20 times. So from there I understand you're doing a wonderful job. Congratulations. May God bless you, give you good health, and you will multiply the good work we are doing to this congressional district.
Thank you.
Dr. Vijay is a wonderful social worker. He's doing a great service to the community. Congratulations to you, Dr. Vijay.
Give God all the glory.
And I'm happy to see each and every one of you here participating in this interactive session. This is how you get your message across to the congressman or to the political system. Good luck to you all. Thank God. God bless you.
Well, we have one of another great pillars of the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force and the American Multi-Ethnic Coalition. Please give it up for Mr. Vijendra Doma. He is a leader not only for the Andhra and Telugu community, but he has been with Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force, and as Dr. Sowell and others, Mrs. Kumar and others can testify, he is the man with the muscle. Not only is a good dancer, he won the dancing competition in 2017 for World Health Day, beat out young Telugu actors, but he is a guy who comes and actually when you have to plant a pole, when you have to put up our banners for all our banquets, and we really missed you while we were planting the garden right here. The Rama Santosh Kumar Interfaith Unity Garden, which is going to be dedicated now by our congressman later. There was a lot of toiling on the work. Ali Dhanraj was the crew captain and doing the landscape, and Dr. Sowell got into we thought, you should see Dr. Sowell in her shots with Pastor Tony Bianchi in his shots, and they were actually, we were here doing you can see the transformation of the landscape and the outside with the trees, and it was a blessing to really come and work and make a difference. And we decided, because Gerard always says, you guys are in the suburbs, you all have palaces. I mean, he's not talking about my home, he's talking about your home maybe, but Mrs. Kumar. But he says, why don't you guys come and share something and do something and make the West Side a better place, look like the suburbs. And so here is it to you, Gerard. I'm glad you're here to see what little we could do with a few of us. But I'm sure if all of you all get together, we can transform this to be the Taj Mahal of Chicago. Having said that, let me introduce you to Vijay Doma.
Thank you, Vijayji. Thank you. Thank you, Congressman Danica Davis. My name is Vijay Doma. I represent United Telugu Christian Community. I joined this about 10 years ago. What impresses me is within our nationality, different groups, different religion, different ethnicity, also different ethnicity, Chinese, Nigerian, Philippines. There are so many people here. So many. That's what it is. We all come together in a different way, put things together, make congressmen success. And we all support all the time. Next election also, congressman will be running, and we all support him. Thank you.
Now I request Ms. Neelam Sabu, who's been joined with Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force the last 1 year. And she's a community activist. She's also a financial analyst. And she has her own boutique. Beautiful ideas. So welcome, beautiful Neelam Sabu.
Thank you, Vijayji, for the amazing introduction. As everyone knows, my name is Neelam Sabu, and I run a boutique, Beautiful Ideas, and my profession is also accounting. Now, enough of talking about myself. I'm so happy to be part of Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force. I kind of jitter when I'm near the mic, so pardon about that. Now, under the one roof with Congressman Danny Davis, in this 1 year, what I have seen is he is the one man who brought everyone together. Please, a big applause for him in this COVID situation. And he is the power behind bringing us every single organization under one roof and making things happen. And with the we followed Dr. Vijay, and that's where we did a lot of work. And you can see the results, really what happened, and it's viral right now, whatever is being achieved by us. Apart from that, when the congressman came to our hometown, Naperville, he blessed everyone, and you have seen in this past 10 years, which has not happened, but it happened this year, our own people stand for the city, and they won. So it is really something, history happened in Naperville. So thank you so much for blessing them and making it happen. I would also like to thank Dr. Vijay Prabhakar for all his energy, his advice, and the way he takes us. Not only just talks, he's made things happen. That is very, very important, and he's a great leader, and I'm so proud to follow him. Thank you so much for showing us the path of success. Thank you.
Thank you, Neelam. Thank you so much. Neelam, please go and shake Congressman's hands for Suresh Bodhiwala-ji. And now we have from one power woman leader, we have another very powerful woman, Ms. Hina Trivedi. She is the Women's Wing Coordinator of the Overseas Friends of Bharatiya Janata Party, the ruling party of India. She has been with all the Indian leaders, including Prime Minister Modi, who some of you like and some of you adore and some of you, I'll leave the rest. Please welcome to the powerful Wonder Woman, Hina Trivedi. She's a mover and a shaker. She has also served with our GoPO founder, Gladstone Verghese, has mentored her. She's also the Lieutenant to Amar Upadhyaya and Acharya Rohit Joshi. And please give greetings to Hina Trivedi, the one and only.
Thank you, Dr. So I want to thank you, Danny Davis, for bringing all the community together. And thank you, Dr. Vijay. Without you, we won't be here. And thanks to my brother and sister who's here tonight. I really appreciate it that coming to Danny David and supporting him. He's one of the pillars of our Chicago. I was watching growing up with him, and he used to, when I was a GoPio president, he came to our GoPio event. I was a FIA president. He came to our FIA event. Over 32 organizations. I served as a president. But you know, it's always been good to get lost into the community and serving. And VJG, when he said we have to be there, we have to be there. He's the energetic person who gives that vibrant to all of us. And thank you each and everyone. I really appreciate it. Without you, all this would never happen. Thank you, and Dr. Vijay. And Mrs. Kumar is another one, is one of the women leader who's support the community. All the time she's there. You just call and she's always there to support each and everyone. I really appreciate it. And David, I really appreciate you for all the time giving your time, not only Indian community, not only African American community, not only Spanish community, but each and every person in Chicagoland. David is there for each and every person. Thank you.
Thank you, Hina ji. And now I'll call upon Mr. Amar Upadhyay, who is the National General Secretary of the Overseas Friends of BGP, and he has been a very loyal member of the MEATF and AMEC for the last 3 years. And I think Amar Upadhyay ji has a personal message from Prime Minister Modi, as Neil Coat, our National Chair of the Indian American Business Coalition, has been echoing for the last week about improving relationships between President Biden and Vice President Harris and Prime Minister Modi. I think he wants to give that special message to ask our dynamic living legend, the Congressman Daniel K. Davis, to facilitate and make that happen for India's good as well as America's good and all the other nations. So please welcome Mr. Amar Upadhyay.
Thank you, Vijay, for nice introduction and giving all the detail about mine. I am Amar Upadhyay. I live in the Chambord. I am IT specialist. I work with the IT company involved with the healthcare industries and everything. I talked to Dennis Davis and he replied very well. He responded very well and very helpful nature. Dennis Davis is always helpful to the community. Any type of work is there, and whatever he can do basically. He will do very quickly and everything. And the other thing is, I would like to thank you, Dennis Davis, for taking the initiative, and Dr. Prabhakarji for taking initiative to help the India in a COVID-19 situation and providing all the help to the India, all type of medical equipment, vaccine and everything. And for that, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is very happy with the work we provided. You talked to President Joe Biden and he acted very quickly and provided all this help. So he will be very happy. And also I would like to invite Danny Davis and Prabhakarji and all our members actually to visit India in the month of January to attend special India Independence Day parade and everything. It is very good parade actually. You should attend sometimes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Amarji. And now we have Amarji, like Laurel and Hardy are two twins. His twin brother is Mr. Acharya Rohit Joshi, who is also the Chicago coordinator of Overseas Friends of Bharatiya Janata Party, and has been a very active member with the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force of Congressman Davis for the last 3 years. Please welcome Acharya Rohit Joshi.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay Prabhakar, for the nice introduction. Considering we are the twin brothers with Amar Upadhyay. I am Acharya Rohit Joshi. I live in Skokie. I worked in the Northeastern University for 30 years. Now I am president of Indian Community of 9th Township, vice president of United Senior Parivar, board of directors, Hindi Club of Illinois, and I am a Hindu priest also. I retired from the schools in 5 years before. What a good opportunity Dr. Vijay Prabhakar gave me. After the retirement, I came with his contact, and he got me involved in his activities. Since then, I believe he is the only group, can be a best group leader in this Chicago area. And many people told before that he should run for the congressman. I support that. You know, whatever he gained from the shelter of Congressman Danny Davis. Dennis Davis, he is working so hard for the community since 2 or 3 decades, and I noticed that he loves Asian people. And you see here the symbol of Dr. Chavez, also how she is dressed up.
Dr. Sowell. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Yeah. And turn around like Vanna White.
Like Vanna White.
And all these activities is supported by Santosh Kumarji also. So at this moment, I would like to appreciate their thanks, gratitude to Dr. Danny Davis, Santosh Kumarji, Dr. Chavez, and not only least but not better is Dr. Prabhakar. I consider he is my younger brother.
Acharya ji, the success is because of each one of them over the years. You know, so I can count from Clarence Fields when in 2009 when we started this movement, and I want to thank from the bottom of the heart. It's all because each one of you. Some people leave, some people join, and that's the strength. Without y'all and without the congressman, there won't be the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force. Thank you so much for your blessings. It means a lot from us, Acharya ji. Thank you so much. Next we have with us Femi, the musician who mesmerized us with the saxophone solo. And he has his own ministry. He has his own story to tell, like the goddess warrior. And we're waiting for your poem at the end, because Congressman loves poetry, and he's a poet himself. And so now I'll hand it over to Femi. He's going to talk about himself and his interests. Give it up for Femi!
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. Thank you, Congressman Danny Davis, for having me here. Thank you, everyone. I'm more of a player than a talker. So most times I talk with my horn rather than speaking. However, I would like to say a few things. I am Femi Ogibule, as I rightly said. I studied music. I actually started back home, Lagos, Nigeria, where I had my associate diploma in music performance. Then I had another diploma from the Royal Academic Associate Board in the United Kingdom, and also from the University of Dayton, Ohio, here in the United States. So I love music. I live music, I speak music, and I live music. I also have an organization called Horns of Gladness, and essentially what we do is we do all sorts of things related to music. We go to senior homes, perform for them, and just to encourage them, engage them, and also go to kids' environments. Sometimes they challenge children, just to help them. There is something about music. I'm not a poet, but one of the best quotes I usually say to people when I address them: music is life. Life is music. And the more you get into music, the more you get out of life. For a lot of people, music is their safe haven. And for a lot of people, music is their comfort. For a lot of people, music is healing. And for some people, it's entertainment. However you see music is good, and you can't do without music. And God has blessed me with that, and I've used that tool to try to help the community in every way I can. And one of the other things that we do is we organize annual events, and different kind of events actually, date night shows for couples. You know, sometimes you realize that a lot of couples fight and they don't have any reason for fighting. All they just need is just to take themselves out and have a good time, and they come back home and happy. You know, we do that. We have crews, sometimes organize cruise events, you know, have a lot of people on board. I have an orchestra and a band. Actually, most times you see me at AMEC performing by myself, but actually I have a group of 40 people that play with me, depending on the kind of event. So I have an annual concert that we host every year called Praise Experience, and it is hosted here in Chicago. As a matter of fact, it's becoming one of the biggest gospel concerts actually hosted in Chicago. Just last year during the COVID period, one of our music was actually featured on Illinois for Arts, which is used to generate funds and raise funds for the artists, for the musicians, to support them in kind of like grants. And they contacted me and that they want to use my music and my face and some of our performance pictures, which I granted. So this year we are having another event, which is a Praise Experience coming up around November. Now the focus of the Praise Experience is moving from what it used to be to the first thing now. We are much more interested in serving the underserved communities like the West Side, the South Side, most especially. Organizing events to engage the youth. I hear the news every time a lot of things happen, but sometimes we can actually do some things that can get these youth off the streets by just providing something for them to, what they love. And I teach kids and adults, and saxophone, clarinet, beginners piano, vocals, choirs, groups, all sorts of things. And essentially what we're trying to do through the Praise Experiences, apart from the performance which brings everybody together, we also want to encourage the youth to pick up at least an instrument rather than picking up a gun. I believe that if you give a youth a musical instrument, you're bringing out the talent in them. You never know who they can become tomorrow, and you don't know how far that can take them. And that is our goal, and also collaborating with different organizations for support to make this happen. It's a big event. It is very costly, so I'm going to ask for your help, for your support. AMEC, Dr. VJ, and everybody here actually to support us and to make this event a success. And we hope to take it all around Chicago and the state of Illinois, maybe even beyond, you never know. But at least we start from here. And this year, by the grace of God, we're coming to the West Side to make this happen. So I hope that we will have all your support in every way you can. Thank you.
Thank you, Femi, for that, and I'm sure Dr. Soval and Dr. Santosh Kumar and even Dr. Richardson, Neil Court, and all around the table will be supporting your efforts. Next, we have our very own Bethel's very own Karen Rivers. Please welcome her. She was with us till 1 a.m. in the morning with Ali, trying to put the tablecloths, but I think you can see that's why they couldn't put it properly. It was too late in the night. But please welcome Karen Rivers of Bethel Mennonite Community Church, a real worker.
Thank you, giving God all honors and praises. Was not expecting this, but I love Bethel Mennonite family, church, ministry, First Lady, Pastor. You, Congressman Danny Davis, I am a youth Now, elder of the West Side, you have blessed me and my family to perform, stand up, and be proud that we are from the West Side. And we want to thank you all that you can be who you want to be if you put your mind to it and you stay focused and put family first and God first. So I want to thank you all. I enjoy you all. This is my second event with First Lady and Pastor, and I'm so happy that the West Side is becoming alive again. We're booming, and I can feel the peace, the joy, and the happiness returning for the West Side of Chicago. God bless you, and thank you all.
Please give it up to the beautiful talent girls.
Who's your dress designer?
I do.
Eric Parker, my God, how many hats? He's a physician assistant, a prophet, and now he's a dress designer and a singer. Please give it up to Eric Parker's prodigy, Karen Rivers. Ladies and gentlemen, you just seen Eric Parker's prodigy. Now meet the real power behind this very flamboyant young man. Dr. Eric Parker is his charming wife, Connie. She's sitting next to Gerard and showing her white nail polish, but we want her to come up and say a few words to welcome Congressman. She is the Youth and Child Ministry Director of Bethel Mennonite Community Church, also wearing one of Eric Parker's traditional signature design gown. Please welcome the charming Connie Parker.
Hello, everyone. Sister, take your time. I have stage fright. Let me just say that. I don't like speaking in front of other people. It's okay. But I am honored to be here. I want to honor my husband, Prophet Lamar Parker. I want to honor my pastor and my first lady, Pastor Tony Bianchi and Dr. Sowell. I'm just honored to be here. As I said, I'm humbled to be here in front of a lot of powerful women and men. It's a pleasure to meet you, Congressman. And y'all just have a wonderful day.
This next gentleman that is coming, I met him a couple of months ago. He's a true man of integrity. He's got me on some business ventures that we're working on together. This is, he's also working with Danny Davis, and I think he will be the next something, I'm not going to say, but Gerard Moore, come forward.
There you go, the next, please welcome the next something, Gerard Moore.
You can't tell. Well, thank you very much, Congressman Davis. Definitely, I appreciate you for always being that light that shines in these dark times. I appreciate you. Of course, Dr. DJ, to you as well. But I would want to utilize my time to say thank you to all of you that's a part of MEATF. Because when I ran for office about a year ago, a lot of people in this room supported me, and I didn't get a chance to tell you guys thank you because COVID came. So I want to use this time to say thank you to all of you for supporting me, because we didn't win that election, but we won the race. Because the issues that we was fighting for was mental health care. That was one of the #1 things we was fighting for. And it's on a lot of people's agenda right now. So we got to just keep fighting, continue to press, but it's good days ahead. So thank you to all of you.
Thank you. Gerard Moore has been a great pillar and one among us in MEATF, and we want to acknowledge all the hard work he has done, and for all of you all who have reached out to him for immigration help. He used to come into Congressman's office in the midnight because that's the time in India or time in Ghana, Nigeria to help. So we want to thank you, Chief, and you're on the right path under the guidance of our living legend, Congressman Davis, and he's reminding me to say that Congressman is running again. And 2022, and we want him many more terms for the living legend, Congressman Danica Davis. And now, for some soothing mental peace, let me call the psychiatrist of today, Dr. Mercedes Martinez. And she really drives a Mercedes in her mind and all our minds. Welcome the psychiatrist, Dr. Mercedes Martinez, who has been a very active Hispanic community representative of our multi-ethnic advisory task force, Dr. Martinez.
Thank you very much to the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force. Dr. Prabaker, it's been an honor and a privilege to know you and be affiliated with this organization. And Congressman Danny Davis, thank you for all the work. I had no idea that you had been the spearhead behind the FQHCs. This year has been one of the most difficult years of my life. I lost my brother February 1st, 2020, a veteran, and he struggled with alcoholism, and it was not very easy. And I bring that up because that is a very significant problem in our community. And Grace Napolitano, which I would ask the good congressman to support, Representative Grace Napolitano's Latino Mental Health Act, which will charge SAMHSA to get behind helping those that are stuck in the realm of addiction. And with that said, the pandemic is, I liken the pandemic to when the towers fell in New York. Very eloquent researchers pointed out that afterward there was an incredible exponential increase in alcoholism and substance abuse, which I think we have seen in the car accidents, in the tragedies, in the domestic violence, and we continue to see it. And just like Goddess Warrior Poet pointed out, trauma begets trauma. And one of the quintessential approaches to trauma is art therapy and music therapy, like Femi has pointed out. And so I would encourage more monies to go into this area, as well as to the assertive outpatient treatment and case managers, because they are in the front lines of this disaster and can nip it in the bud for a family. It is unconscionable that our people in Illinois and in this nation wait 8 months to see not even a psychiatrist. That's unconscionable. And to give up your parental rights to have your child be admitted into a residential facility, again, is unconscionable. We need more monies to be targeted in mental health and into the FQHCs and into the outreach workers. And I personally have worked in a state-operated facility where I really pushed working with the undocumented and monolingual in my background, which is my father was from Mexico. He too was a psychiatrist, so I really pushed for bilingual, bicultural nurses in the unit, and I fell subject to retaliation, and that's where I'll end it. But that and dealing with breast cancer, which thank God I'm alive and have been through that. And I saw firsthand how the cancer patients suffer mentally. There should be a task force for the cancer patients that help them both in the nutritional aspects, something as simple as bee pollen, making sure they have enough magnesium, make sure they have enough vitamin D3, omega-3 krill oil for inflammation, turmeric, simple things, folic acid. If you have a decrease in your magnesium, you can have migraines, depressive-like symptoms, panic attacks, also insomnia, constipation, confusion, and it's a simple thing of just taking a supplement that can change the life of someone who is at death's door, and I do mean at death's door. There has been a 17.7% increase overall in suicides, and that is unconscionable, absolutely unconscionable. I field calls from people that just happen to come by my number. I don't work in my own private practice, but I give them the basics of which they can help themselves with. And it can be something as simple as was pointed out by Femi, music therapy, art therapy, yoga, meditation, laughter, having a hobby like gardening, making sure your nutrition is appropriate, that your supplements have been taken, that, and these things have now come to light with a researcher by the name of James Greenblatt, who has started the first integrative and functional psychiatry branch. And God bless him, because that's not easy to have accomplished. And this, I believe, will be the beginning of true recovery from mental illness. Because what we have now, there are very few psychiatrists, I believe, that are following the Hippocratic oath of do no harm. Because these medications, if they're overprescribed or underprescribed, it's a fine-tuned approach to mental illness, but it is not appropriate, and certainly the adverse side effects. I just saw a documentary yesterday where this poor young man went up and down, in and out of the hospitals, and from adverse effects and being incarcerated. It's unconscionable. This is not the type of mental health that we should be providing and for our people. And I just want to make a note, to note the very eminent, brilliant Dr. Carl Bell, who died August 2nd, 2019. He wrote at least 400 or 500 plus articles and books and things like this about, and advocated very strongly for children and the violence that was perpetuated in the systems of foster care, and he reunited families. We need more Dr. Carl Bells. And Dr. Annelle Prim from Steve's Fund is also working for the youth. Those two are very eminent individuals, very brilliant individuals that could be a resource. I want to make sure not to forget that there's been a threefold increase in child hospitalizations since the April to November 2020. And again, the systems in place are just simply broken. And there needs to be more of outreach, more of crisis, ability to communicate a crisis and to get somebody on that line to help. And working in the state facility, I can say that fairness and equity is a unique bird in state employment. And I would just ask the good congressman to really take issue with the legislators and the leaders in the state of Illinois to provide a less hostile work environment, which is what I've experienced this year, and I'm still going through it. Why? Because I'm older, you know, I don't know why, but I'm going through it. And lastly, again, Grace Napolitano, Latino Mental Health Act for SAMHSA, and I believe that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Martinez, it tells us how important, Congressman, the mental health issue is here, the behavioral health. We have recently started a Citizens Action Alliance for Behavioral Health, which was instituted by you as part of the Gandhi King Legacy Summit in February. And that organization is growing, and we are having our third summit this month, in July, with the Speaker of the House. And do you all know that 18% of the state of Illinois population have a serious mental health illness? 18%, my friends. That's a high number. And we are 23rd in the ranking in the state, in the country as a list. So there are 22 other states who have a higher population of people having serious mental health illness. So this is a big issue. And here, go ahead.
I have to, I'm remiss, I did not mention the very serious lead poisoning, lead intoxication. That is one of the reasons that this nation is in trouble. Just like Rome went down because of the aqueducts being lined with lead, that's what's happening, I believe, in this country.
Dr. Martinez wants to show her braids in Mexican way in picture with the congressman. So the young photographer Rakesh, please do the honors. And we'll have next with us a new member who's been inducted in the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force is none other than Mr. Murugesh Kasalingam, and he's another one who drives a Ferrari, who is also a single man, an IT entrepreneur, a giant in his own world, but he's very considerate and compassionate to community needs. And Murugesh is joining us, and he would like to share his views on what the IT industry and what is the economic situation today. So please welcome the man on the move, on the wheels, just like Gladstone. Is it a Bugatti or a Ferrari, Murugesh?
Thank you, Vijay Prabhakar. It's a Ferrari. First of all, I would like to say thank you, Mr. Vijay Prabhakar and Ali, for inviting me for this wonderful event to honor the living legend, Danny K. Davis. And sir, I've been living in this country for the last 25 years. I've been fortunate to follow you, and you've done a phenomenal service for our country. So God bless you, God bless all of us for that. And I'm happy to know that you're running again, which is a very good news for all of us. So please continue your service, and we definitely need your service, your expertise and guidance for all of us to succeed in our life. And having said that, as Vijay Prabhakar ji said, IT is one of the main professionals for Asians, especially Indians. So we are definitely here to support you and for all your beliefs. And so please continue to do your good work, and God bless all of us. God bless America. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Murugesh. And now I request Ms. Begum Chand Naseem, who has been our Women's Wing chairperson, and now she's currently the vice chair of the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force. She's also been one of the co-founding members, right, Dr. Beals? And so please give it up for Begum Chand Naseem. She's from Pakistan. She's one of the Pakistani American community leaders, a very active women community activist, and she's been a member of the task force of Congressman Davis for the last 10 years. Begum Chand Naseem ji.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. Without your support, under your umbrella, nobody can go anywhere. First of big applause to Dr. Vijay, because Dr. Danny Davis, Madam, Dr. Shaw, and all our family members. They are very cooperative, supportive, because we want to do something, one cause, help to each other. And credit goes to Dr. Vijay, because they together, all multi-ethnic community, everyone, they took the same place, every single one. Nobody can say that we are friends and we are friends. No. Dr. Vijay is good quality, big quality. We want to support them to next congressman for him. So we have our support, all of them. All of you, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, all of you come here. And big support Dr. Vijay and all team members. They are very hard workers, supportive and positive and everything. And next, every time, anywhere, our support to all of members, anywhere Dr. Vijay say, we are around the corner of you. And thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much, Dr. Showan. And thank you so much, Dr. Danny K. Davis. Without support to congressmen, we cannot do anything too. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you. Happy picture. And thank you, Begum Chand. And we request now the lady of the hour, Ms. Sri Gursami, to please come and say her reflections of the last year. She is the Naperville Commissioner of Housing and Human Rights. She is also an active member of the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force. And I think one of the biggest achievements this Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force has done is she has brought her husband, Srinivas, where is he? Sini Gursami, please come here, sir. And she has brought her Sini Gursami, who used to only be in the Oak Brook and Naperville area, brought him back to life, to our society, and I think that's one of the greatest achievements. Give all of you guys a round of applause, because you all made it happen. She was motivated to bring her husband Sini, and he's going to say a few words followed by his wonderful wife Sri Gursami. Please welcome Sri Gursami, Sini Gursami.
Dr. Vijay Prabhakar sir, Ji, I don't deserve all this, and I came here for one and only reason, and I am not lying. And I went to school in this city long time ago. 1980X. So, an IIT Chicago. It's a great city. I came here for only one reason. That gentleman from New York came from, for Congressman Danny Davis. That's the only reason I came, not because my wife pressured me. No. So, and with that, I'm going to give my microphone. I'm going to give the microphone to my. No, you talk about her. That you talk about her. Thank you so much. My wife has been very great doing social service across Chicago land and a lot of people, and I want God to bless her for what she has done to the community across religion, across countries, across whatever it is, and
You support her.
I fully support her. Absolutely, I support her. Otherwise, you wouldn't be together. Okay. It is 30 plus years, and she's recording it.
Yes.
You know what it means to be together for 30 years? You'll find out in your life. But God has blessed us with 2 children. I want them to be good. And besides this, I want all the folks here, all the communities, to be happy, living for our Congressman, Mr. Danny Davis. May God bless you for 100 more years. I said the same thing to one more person, Mr. Jesse Jackson, about 9 years ago in April. And I met him in my friend's house. That's all that matters. Now, here comes the big shot.
Wow! Give it up to see it!
Dear friends, it's such an exciting moment to be here with all of you united after this past year that we have all gone through, with the lockdown and the social distancing and the masking. Good to be around all our friends united in one mission to empower our communities, the minorities, the people of color, the people that need the help. I'm talking about people that have gone through a lot of challenges and struggles during the last 14 months. And I know many of you talked about mental health. I am a mental health advocate and a social worker, so I really want to do something really, proactive to address the mental health concerns. My husband just mentioned about 2 children we have. I'm very proud to say that my son is actually applying for residency to be a psychiatrist, and he actually wants to practice addiction psychiatry. So, I think a lot of us know that there are issues in the society. One big problem is addiction, also the increase in suicide rates, and I myself in my practice seeing a lot of calls for people going through depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder. So we need to do something at a community level to address those issues. And recently I just saw on social media that Congressman Danny Davis had introduced a legislation in Washington last week, I believe, which is the Anti-Violence Act. Anti-Violence Act. And so that is to provide funding to nonprofit organizations to work towards prevention programs for gun violence. And I think along with his colleagues Representative Robin Kelly, I saw a few other people, Sheila Jackson, I saw our young dynamic congressman standing there in front of Capitol Hill, making a speech to support this legislation. So thank you, sir, so much, because I know when we talk about barriers to healthcare or growth in life, these are the things, violence, housing we need for people, we need good education, we need jobs. So all those things I think our living legend has always been supporting and will continue to support, and I'm so glad to be here, and thank you all for this beautiful evening.
Thank you, Shri. You could say that she's the daughter of an actress. Her mother, Raja Salochna, was a famous Bollywood actress of 5 languages. And now You know, one of the crowning achievements of the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force, when Congressman was asking us to reflect on last year, is the appointment of Dr. Srinivas Reddy to the Illinois Physician Disciplinary Board. Our very own Dr. Srinivasan Reddy. And Congressman Davis will be happy to know that he was recently confirmed by the Senate of the state of Illinois, and he has been made the Vice Chairman of the Illinois Physician Disciplinary Board. So we want to congratulate Dr. Srinivas Reddy. And, you know, this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. And he took time as a father. He was with his younger son Dylan in Hammond, Indiana, doing basketball practice, and he has to rush back there to be there. But he said he wants to be here to come and make his presence known to Congressman Davis. You know, Congressman, that means you have to lift him higher from the state to the Washington, D.C. And as Gerard will tell you, so with these words, please welcome Dr. Srinivas Reddy, the intervention radiologist, and who's got several titles, a community leader, a person who's always there with his lovely smile and his wonderful wife and family. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Prabhakar. You know, it's truly a great pleasure to be with all of you, always along with our honorable congressman. You know, we were so fortunate to be able to meet in person, you know, after a long time, right? Last year, this time, we were talking about vaccines. They're coming up. Right now, we are talking about how successful these vaccines are. You know, one of the things that I always, like to stress, last 18 months have been really tough for all of us. You know, we had seen, over 600,000 people died here, more than 1 million people died in India. But with our resilience, we were able to combat and overcome a lot of these, the deadly pandemic. But still, there is a lot to be, lot to be done. But one thing that I could always stress, the good news is about 170 million people have been vaccinated so far. That amounts about 54% of the people with at least one dose of vaccine. But 48% of the people are fully vaccinated. So that's a good news, but still a little long ways to go for us to reach that herd immunity that experts say we need to have at least 70 to 80% of the people need to be vaccinated. But we will get there. You know, we've seen the devastating effect of this pandemic in India. And I just said, like, over 1 million people died. But things are improving there. But still, there is a lot of concern because of unavailability of effective vaccine in India. And I know some of our leaders are fighting for a long time. But I'm hopeful. One of these days we'll able to overcome that problem too, and able to achieve that milestone. But one thing that I wanted to say, Congressman Danny K. Davis, I always feel so proud to be with the honorable congressman who dedicated his life to public service. From the day one of the pandemic, in spite of threat to his own health, he stayed with the people, tirelessly working to improve the health and welfare of the most vulnerable population of the Chicago inner community. I seen him, I told him several times, Congressman, you got to put this double mask, but still he was there. Every time I saw, he was there fighting for the people in need. You know, I always say he's one of the most compassionate, hardworking political leaders. And he's always willing to listen to people, committed. It's a great honor to be with him. And I, like everybody else, I say, God give him good health, and I wish him good luck to continue to, do his work and helping the people in need. Finally, I would like to say about Vijay Prabhakar. I don't know what to say. He's been, every time I call him, he's I'm in Atlanta, I'm in Washington, D.C., I'm in San Francisco. He has been working tirelessly. He's been working tirelessly from the beginning of the pandemic to help the people in need here when we were suffering in the United States. And then recently, what is happening in India, he's been tirelessly fighting to get those vaccines released. And I, like everybody else, and I wish him good luck, continued energy to finish his mission. That mission is to send some vaccines, and that will be happening.
The mission is to make Srinivas Reddy the next congressman in 8th congressional district. As soon as Raja Krishnamurthy vacates his seat to be the senator, Congressman Davis, you have to bless him. Neil Court has already taken the position of your finance chair, and Dr. Santosh Kumar is going to be your campaign chair. So that's the vision and reality, right, Gerard?
Oh, one thing that I wanted to touch, and I know Vijay has been, and I sincerely appreciate all the members here, Executive Committee of MEATF, from the day one. All of you, you've been working so hard to help the people in need. One thing that I wanted to say to Congressman, Dr. Martinez was talking about mental health. Dr. Prabhakar had touched a little bit, but with the experience that we see now, mental impact of any disaster outlasts the physical impact. So we have not seen yet, it's going to come. We have the good days that we are vaccinating people, the virus is going down, but the mental impact is going to last for a long time. I sincerely request Congressmen to work really hard in Washington, D.C. to get all the funding that need to be, because we're going to suffer this mental impact of pandemic for the next few years. And with that, I really appreciate all of you for all the good work, and I thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Srinivas Reddy. And I think, as I was sitting, we forgot this beautiful lady, Anika Dubey from Naperville, and she is magic. Ali is coming here. Yeah, I know, she's coming here. And she says, I dressed up with my black and gold sari all the way. I have my matching handbag. And I said, I forgot, but how can you forget? My gold is glittering. So please welcome the golden girl from Naperville, Anika Dubey. She has a special message to Congressman Danny K. Davis. And we're coming to the end of the program, so she's adjusting herself. So I request the designer Eric Parker to take over from here. Give it up for Eric.
Thank you, Dr. Prabhakar, for such a nice introduction, as always. Energetic introduction. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And it is all with God's blessings and blessings from Congressman Danny K. Davis that we are all gathered again under the same roof for a homecoming reception. So it's our pleasure to be here. And my journey with MEATF and AMEC started like in October 2019 when I was inducted by Dr. Prabhakar in his quote-unquote cabinet. Okay? And that also, like, you have to pass through several tests to be inducted in that cabinet, and I am like humbled to be there. It has been a great journey because it's by my passion to be, involved with human beings and kind of do something for them as a community activist, being involved in other organizations. By profession, I am a human resource professional, so that speaks for it. And I am very happy with my profession because that comes from my basic talent that I have in being passionate to the human beings and understanding their needs and helping them out. I serve as a counselor for students and in colleges and school. I do counseling for the kids now, which has become very important, as Dr. Reddy said, that after the pandemic, the pandemic is still going on in many places, but then since we have all kind of sailed through, we have seen kids of ages between 5 and 11 really struggling to have any social interaction now because they were inside the house. They were just kind of doing remote learning. So I would request Congressmen to do something about these school kids, wherein they can kind of get back to having a social interaction and not being just inside their rooms and being always plugged into the electronic things that they have been doing. And this is all the repercussions of pandemic. And I got the chance to meet Congressman Davis, first time in his office with my husband and my daughter, and she was really impressed. We celebrated Congressman Davis's birthday, and that was an inspiring and remembering moment for us. And I have my full support to Congressman Davis for his elections, and our charismatic leader, Dr. Prabhakar. This is for you. I pledge my 1 month salary for Congressman Danny Davis' election.
Wow, good. What's your name? Sweet.
Thank you for all your blessings,
Come close.
Congressman.
You're going to speak next.
And we look forward
Thank you. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for the generous donation. What about a 1-year salary from anybody here for Congressman Davis's re-election campaign? Somebody could match that. I see a hand from Eric Parker. She said a month. No, I'm saying somebody could match there for a year. She's doing a month, but Eric is going to do a 1-year salary. Do I see Rani smiling? I'm talking about Rani and
asset rich. No.
Okay, good. You know, we had the International Education Connect. I think Clarence Field could help me. I think it was 2018, right here, the first International Connect, and where we had raised $10,000 to refurbish Bethel Mennonite Church. And that's when the first time the MEATF has been having prosperity and doing different meets together. And we're very pleased to say, Congressman will happy to know that his organization is also having romance is budding and blossoming. You know, when a Pakistani and an Iranian girl, Rani set her eyes on a Tamilian boy, Ravi, the shy Ravi, who was coveted by all the women in the room and beyond, if I may add. Rani, don't give him a hard time later, I'm just joking. And so, it happened right here in Bethel's church. And this is a divine church, Pastor Tony Bianchi, and with the chairwoman, your beautiful wife, Dr. Zenobia Sobel. And today, their romance is booming, or budding, I guess. And so I'd like to wish them all the best and hope we'll have an MEATF couple where Congressman Danny K. Davis can solemnize their wonderful holy matrimony. You know, Congressman Davis has done many things to see one of our own 2 team members nurture and plow and start a union. So wishing both of you guys, both are matched each other, and that's what made me say this. And both, I can see love in your eyes, twinkle in your eyes, every time, not only here in March on the Women's Day and beyond. God's blessings to both of you, Rani and Ravi, and may God guide you all for a future, and I'm sure Congressman will be blessing you all. Now, I think we have only one more person to speak before I hand it over to the hostess, to the mostess, Dr. Zenobia Sobel. The young lady behind the camera, I'll pass the mic to you and she can tell us what tonight meant to you. Introduce yourself. She's also Suresh Bodhibala's granddaughter, if you don't know. If you want me to stand up on the chair to introduce her, I'm willing to do it, Suresh ji. Here you go. Yeah, whichever you're comfortable. Come next to Congressman in the corner. So
here, this way. You can go under the table.
No.
Huh? Go from here to that.
Okay. That's it. All right. Okay. Come on.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Shriya Abadanula. I actually came here to just help with the videography and everything, but I'm so happy I was here because I learned a lot from every single one of you. I'm just a junior in high school. I go to the Illinois Mathematics Science Academy, and I try to get involved in as many gender equity, racial equality, mental health advocacy, and all those clubs as I can. And it was really nice to know that every single individual here is also closely connected with those. And it truly just inspired me to keep fighting for my passion and like what I believe in. And hopefully I can grow up to be amazing individuals like all of you and do amazing things just like all of you are doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you, that is wonderful. Please give it up for.
And we have one, we had the Christian blessing by Pastor Tony Bianchi. We had the Hindu invocation by Acharya Rohit Joshi. And we had this young guy, Ali Khan, as you all know, Jamshed and Chand Naseem's son. And he is a junior prophet, and he wants to bring Allah's blessings and greetings to Congressman Davis. So please welcome Ali Khan, who is going to say a few words and maybe quote a verse or two from Quran to have, and with that, to interfaith unity. And today Dr. Sobel has got something special to announce about interfaith unity. I have welcome Ali Khan. Introduce yourself. He's changed. We have seen him as a young 2-year-old boy in MEATF. I couldn't recognize Ali Khan today, so happy to have you here today.
Thank you so much. My name is Laflin. I haven't really been involved since I've been a part of, I've been with my mom and attending events since a young age, so I don't really recall that much. But I've seen the work you've all done in this group, and it's just amazing. And Congressman Danny Davis, Dr. Vijay, and everyone else in the MEATF group, you all have done an amazing job, and the events are really inspiring. And yeah, I think may Allah bless you all in whatever you have to do, and in the future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Your baby, yes? Now, Eric Parker would like to introduce, as he called, his baby. But today, his baby is dressed in an Indian attire. Please welcome.
She's always dressed. No. Thank you. I want to introduce Dr. Zenobia Stowell, my first lady. She's my right hand. We did it together. And she's going to come and present some awards. And for a few people that are hiding, we're coming for you. So give my first lady a hand of applause.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for your patience tonight. I know some of you traveled great distances and stood in long traffic lines to get here, so we're very thankful that you made it safely. Just a little bit of my story. I'm going to try to make it really short. One thing I want you to understand is that we are where we are by divine appointment.
Amen.
I was born in this area over 6 decades ago. There were 7 high-rise buildings here, very poor, called the projects. And a place where, the village, a place where no one was supposed to succeed. That was the story. But we worked together. Families stood together, stuck together, worked together, ate together, and no one went hungry, even when there was no food around. So, growing up in this area, my father used to pastor this church in the 60s and the 70s, and it was a place that I said I never wanted to come back to because it was drug infested, it was prostitute infested. It was a place that, as I grew older, just became a pretty deplorable place. But I grew up as a youth here, and we did things together, we traveled together, we saw the world together because our leaders were such that they wanted us to see the world and appreciate the beauty that God had for us. And it's good to dream, no matter where you're born, no matter where you come from. And I had a dream of becoming a dentist. I was inspired by a kindergarten teacher who had a career day and said, I want you to dress up like what you want to be when you grow up. And so I told my mom, she brought me a little white coat. She gave me a little doctor's bag. It was a little plastic red bag with a thermometer, stethoscope. And in that particular little red bag was a dental mirror. And she looked at my dad and said, you know what? I think we've got something here. And that was my path. Not by accident, but by divine appointment. And so just to share that story with you, I left here, went away for a number of years, went to dental school, and decided not to come back. But my father had told me when he was here, he said, I want you to see with your divine eyes what this place is going to look like 30 years from now. And I couldn't see it. He said, buy up everything, buy property, buy. But I said, I'm never coming back here, so why should I do that? As divine appointment would have it, I did come back. I've been here for the last almost 30 years. This is where I met my husband. After saying, no, I'm not coming back. And so here I stand today to share this time with all of you and to salute our wonderful Congressman Danny K. Davis, who has been a lighthouse and a staunch supporter of the things we do here. And Congressman, I just want to say thank you for not only what you support in this community, but in the Gold Coast where my practice is. I've been there almost 30 years practicing dentistry, and I just give all the glory to God for what he's done in my life and for the life of this community and what he will do and is doing in each one of your lives. At this time, I would like to talk about beauty. Not only physical beauty, but also inner beauty. I would like to introduce to you. Some of you may, I'm sure almost everybody knows my Santos. She's a mom and a mother to children, adults, seniors, anyone who has need for a mother. And we are dedicating the beautiful garden that you will see outside. I know it's getting dark, but you'll still be able to see all of the beautiful flowers that were planted over these past several weeks as they've grown, and they symbolize unity. She is a woman who brings people together, who has a vision, who came to this country with a heart to help others. And I'm just so grateful to God for knowing her and for what she's done, not only in the Asian community, but for all over Chicago and what she's doing in the world. So we just thank God for your life, Ma Santos, and I call you Mom as well. So let's give her a hand as she comes, and we have a presentation to make for her. Yes. Congressman Davis will dedicate and make this presentation.
You want the chairs? We'll also take a picture outside with all of you all for the garden. What Dr. Sobel said, that the Bethel Mennonite Community Church is requesting the Honorable Congressman to dedicate the beautiful garden you've seen here, which was transformed as Ma Santosh Kumar Interfaith Unity Garden. And we'll request, and it's dedicated by Congressman Davis, who will do the honors just now.
With a tremendous amount of gratitude, not only in honor of the Mennonite Church, but in honor of all those who love mercy, who believe in passion, and who believe that the world can become a better place in which to live. It is really my honor and my pleasure to present to you, Ms. Santosh Kumar, this plaque signifying the Interfaith Unity Garden and a commendation for your outstanding work and your outstanding life.
Give it up for Congressman Davis and Ma Santosh Kumar. And the mic is back to Dr. Sobel.
Please.
No, you have to say it.
We've not heard you the whole evening.
Now is your time.
I am without words at this moment. Dr. Sobel and Dr. Prabhakar and Mr. Danny K. Davis, it's a beyond my, I couldn't believe how should I read it. It's a big responsibility. If you ask me, I'm thinking all along, what God wants me to do. Because Dr. Prabhakar has such a high hopes, everybody have a high hopes.
Congressman Davis wants you to be an ambassador, U.S. ambassador to one of the countries.
God, I will simply pray, God, to give me strength. Give me vision, give me love, that much money that I can help everybody. That is the only thing I pray for. And I can go without saying about Dr. Vijay, but I have to, because he is the man behind everything. This man is working so hard from months and months, and today it started from the morning, maybe 5 o'clock till now. See, he has done 3 functions. This is the 3rd function. And the energy which he has, and the wisdom he has, and the love he has for the people, that is called interfaith. Not where you may be of whatever faith you are. You may be Hindu, you may be Muslim, you may be Christian, you may be Parsi, or whatsoever your faith are. You are welcome in this group, and you are loved in this group. You are cared for this group. Whatever problem you have, you can share with us, and he can help. I have to make somebody help. That is the point. Dr. Sobel, this is I couldn't believe this. Really, believe me or not. And you have given me such a flowers to groom, bloom everywhere like a children. That's it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have no word. And for Danny Davis, I cannot go without saying that. You are the person who stirred the boat in the beginning for India.
Yes.
And that waves got so much that we could soon, we can see the Biden, President Biden. And the government has called our Prime Minister Modi, and because of you. And I don't know how to thank you for many things you do. And many suggestions are given by this
our lady also. I want one request from you. You know, I have a lot of jobs, but when we give the jobs, then they have some crime history, they are not given the job. So some kind of waiver should be there by this school, like no adult left behind. Because of them, they have turned around and become good people. That's right. Now they need the jobs. That's right. Now need the life. That's a good point right there. So if this can be wiped out from their record, then we can provide them jobs, we can provide them home, we can provide them a beautiful life if they are looking for. If it can be happened. Am I right? Yes, right. Yes. Because they need now to resettlement in the society again. And that can be done. Thank you. Thank you so much. Give it up for
I would like to remind you that this is everyone's garden. This garden is dedicated to Dr. Santosh Kumar, but this is everyone's garden, and we invite you to come and help to care for it, water it, and to nurture it. As she said, just like you nurture children.
And the best part is very beautiful. This is the first time I came to this part of the Chicago. And I found it so beautiful. It's not under rain or other things. Houses are so beautiful and more solid than the suburbs. So people, you have more beautiful houses. Don't feel bad.
And friends, this is the first garden in any church to be dedicated after an individual, and the honor Congressman has done today from our Santosh Kumar Interfaith Unity Garden in Bethel Church, which is 100 years old. This church was started by Dr. Zenobia Sowell's dad, and now her husband is pastoring it. Let's give it up to Dr. Sowell and Ms. Santosh Kumar. And over to Dr. Sowell.
At this time, I'm going to ask, before I ask you to come, let me just say a few words about it. I'll also let Eric Parker say a few. They say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but what you see outside and what Ali, my sister, has done to help nurture and to plant this garden, along with the other volunteers, she spearheaded it, and it is a beautiful thing to behold. She came in her heels after work, and the mud was into her shoes. She took her shoes off and barefootedly helped to plant this garden. So I just want to say thank you. I didn't even have another extra pair of shoes to offer her, but we got it done. And so Ali, I just want to say thank you and bless your family for what you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank, I want to say that I want to add on to that. I want to thank you tremendously. You are my friend, my wife and I together. We do a lot of business together. You have come, and I want to tell you all this. You may sit, as you're sitting, you may not really understand what you're doing here, but the power of your yes, even to you, Congressman, it's amazing when these people came here for free, and they worked tirelessly. We were here till 5 in the morning and setting everything up, and it was consistent. And so whenever you guys say yes, even to the goddess, whenever you guys say yes, we were not privileged to see these things. So when you say yes, we're a product of this area. And so now you got authors and physicians and all these beautiful people. It's because of legacy. And each one of you up here understands hard work and legacy. Congressman, you haven't met me, but I know you already. Every time you told my church yes, I was born and raised here. So every time a yes was said, that was a yes for my future. So Lily, we want to thank you for all.
No one knows me as Lily.
Oh, nobody.
That's okay, that's fine.
Dr. Ali.
Here afterwards she'll be known as Lily, because Lily is a flower. We had a lot of lilies.
Oh, that's
so
our private
name,
stuff.
so that's what she's
Don't tell them how to get
going.
Anywho, but we want to present you with this plaque. So we want to present you with this plaque, and it says, from Bethel Mennonite Community Church, Chicago, Illinois, we want to present you with Volunteer of the Year Award for 2021. And it goes to you, and we want to thank you in recognition for your professionalism, your leadership, and your guidance, and your dedication to service to our community and to this church. And so we are grateful to you for all of the efforts and work that you've done.
Ali Dhanraj addresses, and before Congressman gives the state of the MEATF address, I request all of you all to please come and take your seats back. I know Mr. Suresh Bodiwala has rearranged the spectacular square which we made, and now is the moment of the hour. Please all come back inside with your food. The Congressman is going to give the state of the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Task Force address soon after Ali gives her response. And also he's going to tell us what the Biden-Harris administration has to store for each one of us. So please come inside now and take your seat, and request Suresh ji to put the tables back, which he pulled out so rudely, but he'll put it back, I'm sure. And now I request Ali to make her acceptance speech.
Hello everyone. It was a very pleasant evening and it's still continuing. Thank you so much for all this. Thank you, Dr. Sobel. Thank you, Ma. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Dr. Vijay. It's all everyone's efforts. It's not just me. Although I did work on the field, but yeah. You know, this is all an inspiration from the Congressman. I'll tell you what. I'm a newbie here. What? 2 months here? Maybe 2.5.
6 months.
March. Okay.
February you joined Gandhi
March. Okay. 6 months. Okay, I'm a newbie here. But still, you know, Congressman Danny K. Davis, Dr. Vijay, and everyone here in the task force made me very feel inclusive here. And, you know, that's something that's part of this group, I think. It feels good to be part of this because of that. You know, the other thing, sir, I wanted to actually thank you so much for starting the COVID relief thing. You started it when India was in dire need. We were all concerned for our family and friends, very worried. And you started it, and you know, it caught fire. It went viral. People, all of the organizations within the US started doing a lot of stuff, and we mobilized a lot of help. Thank you so much for that. You know, we needed a spark, and that's what that was. And you know, running for the Congress again is going to be a great thing, because we would see something like this when people are in difficult situations. You're going to be there, and that's the best part of what you are doing. Thank you so much. Thank you may not be, you know, it won't do justice if I just say thank you. So what I'm going to say is I am going to do whatever it takes to work and volunteer myself as part of MEATF. That's the best I can do from my end.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please have your seat, and now all of us can be seated. It's not photograph time, but we're going to have the state. It's not the State of the Union, but the State of MEATF address being delivered by Honorable Congressman. And as Ali just reminded me, please give your membership dues written to citizens of Davis, those who have not done it. Eric Parker says he's going to donate 1 month of his salary, so please give it up to Eric Parker. Ravi Govindaraj will do the honors by picking up his check right now, because Gerard wants to make sure Eric Parker contributes. Right, Chief? Yes. Yes, okay. And now please all have a seat, and then once you're all seated comfortably, we'll have the Honorable Congressman address us. Congressman, you would like to sit down and speak or stand up?
I think I'll stand down.
Okay, good. Thank you. And now we'll have the Honorable Congressman, the living legend, deliver the State of MEATF address and tell us what the new Biden-Harris administration has in store for each one of us. Please give it up to Congressman Danny K. Davis.
Well, thank you very much. Let me just tell you, like Elizabeth Taylor told her sixth husband, I ain't gonna keep you that long. So have no fear. But I do want to thank Pastor Tony and my dentist for giving us the opportunity to be in this wonderful church. I feel like we've had a convention. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what it has been. So let me thank the Multi-Ethnic Advisory Group. We have individuals from India, from China, from Japan, from the Philippines, from Pakistan, from the West Side, from Ethiopia, from Ghana, from places all over the world, recognizing the oneness of humanity. We may have all come here in a different way, perhaps even on different ships, but we're all in the same boat. And we're all proud to be Americans, a country that has much promise, a country that has had lots of disappointment, a lot of things to not be happy about. But this time last year, we were wondering if we were going to all die. People were afraid of a virus that our scientists didn't suggest that they knew much about. And we all were wondering whether or not they really would come up with the vaccine or come up with the methodology that could arrest and stop the pandemic. Well, here we are with our masks off, with our health experts saying, if you've had your vaccinations, it's okay. You're not out of the woods yet, but we've come a long way. I am so proud of the people with whom I have been working, because we have generated ourselves more than 15,000 vaccinations. We've vaccinated more than 15,000 people. We have two situations on the docket right now. One at a Baptist church out in the North Lawndale community on July the 7th, and one in front of our office with the motorcycle group. You know, people call them motorcycle gangs. We're going to rope them in and vaccinate out there in front of our office. We've already set it up. We're doing another piece with the Turkish American organization, and we're going to distribute 100 boxes of food at the same time, which would be $8,000 worth of food to individuals as they come and get vaccinated. So good things are happening. And I'm done. This current government has done more for low-income people in the United States of America than has ever been done since the 1950s. The only time we have eclipsed what's being done right now, I don't mean next year, I don't mean what we're going to vote on, I don't mean what we're going to do. Come July the 15th, low-income people with children who earn less than $75,000 a year, or $150,000 if it's a joint couple, they are going to start receiving checks in the mail for their children on the 15th of July. Then they're going to get another one on the 15th of August. Then they're going to get another one on the 15th of September. And they're going to get them all the way through to the end of the year. Then they're going to file, and they're going to get checks for the 6 months that have already gone by for low-income people. That's what's going to happen. We made sure that even the people in the penitentiary got stimulus checks. The United States of America is the most incarcerated nation on the face of the earth. We have more people in prison than India, whose population dwarfs ours. We don't even come close. We are the most incarcerated nation in the world. And the Trump administration said those people didn't really need any PPPs. And we said, well, why not? And they said, well, they got a place to stay. They locked up. They got food, we feed them. And if we get sick, we give them medical care. So they don't really need an economic stimulus check. But obviously, we disagreed and opposed it. A group of lawyers went to court and filed a lawsuit, which we won. And now those individuals in the penitentiary have gotten their $1,400 checks and their $600 checks. If they have not already gotten it, they're coming. So we're on the verge of some good things. We're on the verge of changes. We know that struggle, strife, and pain really is the only way that you get change. If there is no struggle, then there's no progress. Struggle might be a moral one, it may be a physical one, but it must be struggle. So I just simply want to thank all of you. You've heard my name mentioned a great deal here this evening. And let me tell you, a fellow named Tom Brady is probably the best quarterback that's ever played football. But you put him out there on the field by himself and see how many touchdowns he throws. If he ain't got no end, if he ain't got nobody running the line, if he ain't got nobody blocking, he wouldn't bust a grape. He wouldn't be able to get past the 1 yard line. So it really takes groups of people. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. Yeah, I've been able to pass serious bills. I got $6 billion put in the Affordable Care Act when we passed that. It's something called home visiting, for people to go out and visit low-income mothers and children, teach them how to take care of their children, how to make sure they get to the clinic, make sure they go to the doctor. I got something passed called Second Chance for those individuals that we talked about. Next week, I'm going to introduce a bill called HPOD that's designed to train people specifically who have been to the penitentiary or who are called hard to employ for careers in healthcare. I'm introducing that bill next week. I introduced the sickle cell bill this past week. I'm introducing another bill that provides tax credits for individuals to be trained for apprenticeships. We have a large number of unemployed males, especially in the central city, who have no skill, who don't know how to make use of the technology and need to learn. We have a technology bill. As a matter of fact, right now, any low-income person that want to buy a computer, the government will give them $100 to buy a laptop or a desktop, and will give them $50 a month to pay to connect to the internet or to connect to broadband. And all they got to do is call up and get the information, sign up. So good things are happening, and thank you really is the end of everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being a part. Thank you for knowing that what you do does make a difference. That changes can occur. They don't come easy. They're hard. They're difficult. But Sam Cooke really knew and understood it. It may be a long time coming, but I know some change is going to come. All you have to do is believe it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And we must keep believing and keep helping others to know that America is not the America yet that we want it to be. But it is the America that is yet to come. When the men got in the room and said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, they didn't really mean that. And there was no women in there at all. And of course, black people who were slaves were only counted as 3/5 of a person in the Constitution of the United States of America. But it also said we're trying to form that more perfect union. That it's not perfect now, but we can keep working to help it become more perfect, more perfect, more perfect. That's the charge, and that's our responsibility. And thank you all again so much, Dr. VJ. Thank you for your creativity. Thank you for your leadership. Thank all of you, because without you, really, there is no me.
Let's give a standing ovation to the living legend, the Honorable Congressman John Davis, and now I call upon the warrior goddess poet, Diane. She wants to give a special tribute to Congressman Danny K. Davis.
All right, thank you.
Please welcome the warrior goddess who wants to do a special poetic tribute to the one and only Congressman Danny K. Davis.
Thank you all so much. I wanted to close out with a spoken word piece just to give you guys an example of what I do here in the community in Chicago and all throughout the country. I told my story earlier today and what I do, so I want to just give an example of how I speak to these young people. Is that okay with y'all?
Yes, yes.
All right, a lot of you guys spoke on some amazing things today, and I truly am grateful to God for meeting Mr. BJ today and having him to allow me to be here amongst you all. So thank you so much for your time and this opportunity as well. I want to also say how the arts saved me and changed my life. Writing spoken word, doing poetry, music. I heard somebody talk about mental health and how art and music can also be a gateway and access for these children to express themselves. Doing spoken word, music, and poetry saved my life and took me off the streets. So I also agree with more programs for art and music. I just want to say that as well. This poem that I'm about to do is the poem that I was awarded Chicago Music Awards 2021 Spoken Word Artist of the Year. I am also right now, I am currently nominated in the National Spoken Word Awards as well. I'll send a link over to BJ. He can share with you guys to vote for me. I would appreciate that support. This piece right here is called A Revelation. Glory to God. Let ye give an ear to what the poet says to the people. This ain't about race, we in the midst of good and evil. You see, it's hard to find a balance when the scales be so unequal. Being led by false prophets and false teachers. Secretly headed to your destruction according to 2 Peter's. Mass shootings claiming lives, listening to the preacher. My heart still weeping for the girl they killed while she was sleeping. Another trigger-happy policeman. How many more black bodies will be buried by your policemen? This vicious cycle of history just keeps repeating. But remember, everything happens for a reason. It's already been written that every tribe of our kind will be smitten, whether by the hands of our own or by the hands of racism. The revelation of the prophets is all over your phones and televisions. From pyramids to prisons, they got us geometrically locked in the system. But when you see them sacred numbers, it's never hard to forget them. They bewitched the 666. When the whole time, you'll eat the PH9. Switch it around and you'll get 999, which means it's time to start a new journey. Wrap up loose ends and let go of what no longer serves you so that you can step into the equilibrium of your true purpose. But the lean got us more than bent. We be emotionally numb from the drinks and the drugs. Pills pop, but the pain don't stop. The youth not making pulpit stops. They just be racing to the finish. And they get clips before the finish. These are the things that the true and certain have witnessed as the heads of God's new order. We be on watch, faithful and quiet strength. From Chicago to Jerusalem, we see kings with no kingdom who have been given authority, but God has put it in our hearts to do his purpose. While they are led by the beast, we shall continue to speak until the words of God have effect and are complete, or our black bodies will continue to cover the streets. Adam Toledo, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, Philando Castile, Ahmaud and Trayvon, George Floyd, Elijah McClain, and so many other lives and names. Burn down all their stores, protest, riot, and loot. The game don't change. Just like those structures, it's only been remodeled and rearranged. But when the last seal is broken and the heavenly angels sound the trumpets, waters will rise higher than the skies and mountains will rumble as this new Babylon crumbles. For these public assassinations have awakened anointed agents in every nation. And we shall rip through the pavement of this derogatory democracy and this Republican hypocrisy. For now is the time for all of my people's salvation. And don't you call it a warning, call it a revelation. Thank you.
Sister, I mean, what you have said today, I want all of you to go around the room and look. It's not for the civil rights movement, it's not for the African Americans, our forefathers of Mennonite and others, and Congressman Davis, who sacrificed their lives. None of us immigrants would be in this country. If at all we are here today, it's because of the African Americans who have sacrificed their lives over generations. Slavery was abolished and the white man respected the African Americans. That's why we are here. All our wealth, which we are so proud of today, is nothing. We must bow before the African American leaders of today, the African American people of today. Because of them, we are surviving, we are succeeding, we are thriving. Remember that. Let's not have a stigma on the black American people. Let's not look at them as racist. Let's not look at them as violent, as criminals and people who are de-improvised. Because of them, we are here. If not for them, if not for their forefathers who lost their lives, who sacrificed, who went through hell, Juneteenth celebration was this year. Remember, we have to respect wherever we are, especially the American immigrants of multi-ethnic nationalities. If not for the black people, we will not be put on soil here. If at all we are thriving, we are succeeding, it's because of them. Sir, with that, we salute you. Let's all bow to the one and only Congressman Davis and to all the black people, including the goddess warrior Gerard Moore, including Karen Rivers and Pastor Tony Bianchi and Zenobia Zubel and others. Because of you, we live. Thank you.
We thank you for the vision of this house. We thank you for the vision of this occasion today. And I bless it, Father, in Jesus' name, as you raise up these people in this community to be a voice for what's right, to be a voice in the community, to bring all ethnic groups together, regardless of race, regardless of belief system. We are here to serve you, O Master. Bless us this day. As we leave this house, may your blessings be upon us. I pray for our leader that's in this house, Congressman Davis. Father, I pray that you give him health and strength, that he would carry on the race. And Father, I thank you that you're raising up those underneath him. I pray that as he prepares himself for the next term, that you give him a leadership spirit, and he'll able to rise up young men and young women behind him that will take on the cause and the purpose which you've given him. I thank you and praise you for your name and your presence. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Amen.